This is part 6. I don't know how to do that holding this. You might want to go see part 1 to know everything, because it's from start to finish, from my mom's ex, who was banging at the door, which led me to the involuntary hospital stay, to what you're seeing now. This is the day I finally get free. Day 6. 6 days of false imprisonment, where somebody keeps you against your will illegally, and the hospital did that. I didn't know at the time. I thought they finally were listening to me say repeatedly, I want to go home. But no, apparently my mom had said, I'm gonna send my other daughter tomorrow, and if she does not bring her with her back home, I know that's confusing, then I'm going to pursue legal action. And then, yeah, suddenly I was allowed to go home that day. But here I thought, they finally listened, I finally stood up for myself, they finally heard me when I said, hey, my sister comes tomorrow, I want to go back home with her, and I should. But no, they were just worried about legal action, because they knew they weren't even supposed to have me that long. But you know, that good jank from the health bank. Because, you know, health cards, Canada. I'm a free money bank. I have to do something, because this is actually hard. It doesn't seem like it probably, but it is. But not only that, but they also had an overcrowding issue, because they wanted to make the room I was in a boys' room, because there was more boys coming in and they had nowhere to put them. So they were moving us to a different room, and since I was gonna go, that meant they only needed to put the 2 other people into different rooms, because the COVID lady from the last video, she went home. Thankfully. But yeah, there is more that happened there, I'm sure, that I'm just not thinking of at the moment, like how they wrongly inputted my data into the computer. You know how I said it's false imprisonment because I shouldn't be there, because, you know, it's against my will, against my family's will. I didn't sign anything consenting either. And legally, if they had have done a form, I maybe only 3 days max, but it was 6. And the computer even said in red that I was involuntary there. When I asked the older lady what that meant on my chart from the screen, she had told me it meant I was there involuntarily. And I had told her about the situation I had, where I was worried about, you know, being given anything. And she said, oh yeah, you might want to tell them about your heart condition, because they'll come in and they'll force you to have an injection like they did me. And I was like, ha. And I was terrified, because I had already gone through that abuse and that forced just everything. And I was terrified. So I ran and told them about my heart again. And yeah, so that's something I forgot to include. And the male nurse who had hurt me, assault and battery, legal terms, he was working not the next day after he did it. So it made me think, oh my gosh, they actually did something. They like punished him or something. He got in trouble. Until I seen him the next day. And then I was like, oh, no, they didn't. Because he was the one that handed me water. And I was just full-blown panic attack. Chest pains, everything. Because I was remembering everything he did to me. And he was so close to me and he was walking me back to my room. I was thinking, is he gonna hurt me again? I need to get through this. And is everyone watching? Are they gonna say anything? Like, why is he walking me? I just want him to leave. And then I cried a while after because of all that memory. When I was sent home, the whole time I was there, they never gave me shoes. I had asked for shoes. I told them I had flat feet and I needed shoes. My feet hurt so bad, it was giving me pain. They just gave me another pair of socks, and that's it. They gave me a pair of socks, and it was snowing, and I had no coat, and I was only given a light jacket because there was one decent nurse that I'd never met until that time I had to leave, who gave me his jacket to go out into the cold, with no shoes in the snow, to a cab. They wanted me out so bad, they paid over $50 for a cab to send me home. It's pricey. Got home, I was never the same. I complained like I found out I was supposed to the patient's relations specialist, and that was hard to do, and it got me nowhere except for mocked, and just they didn't care. And so they talked to my mom and my sister on the phone eventually, and they just repeated the same things. Like, everything I had told them before was just air that was just blowing through their eardrums and out the other. But my mom and sister were adamant in trying to be like, no, you guys did this to her, like, she's not okay, you hurt her. They didn't know that the nurse had hurt me at that time, or like that kind of stuff yet, because I was like really raw. I wasn't ready to say all that. I was decompressing and dealing. But my sister had even said that I had called her every day crying, telling her that they weren't letting me go home. The patient's relations tried to tell them, straight up lie, like so many, that I was there voluntarily, that I wanted to be there for 3 whole final days past I was supposed to, because she tried to say I was there for 3 days that I was allowed to be, and then I was there because I wanted to be. No, I wasn't, and my mom and my sister knew that. So when that wasn't working, the patient's relations apparently apologized and said sorry, but there's nothing we can do about it now, of her experience that was in their care. It's basically the same garbage, but like more like pretty bow-tied garbage for them, because my mom is more authoritarian than I am in the patient relations specialist eyes. So it was more like a pretty nicer way of saying she gotta get over it because there's nothing we can do now. And when my mom still wasn't letting that slide, and my sister wasn't letting that slide, she straight up told my mom that the reason I was there was because my mom was abusive. She said that to my mom. Like, imagine if there was a person who was being abused and they had told the abuser that. That's not gonna be good for the one who's actually abused. Like, what the hell? The one's doing the abusing was the hospital. But they have to deflect so it doesn't lean on them legally. But because she did that, that ruined my relationship with my mom. Like, straight up. Because every word out of my mom's mouth after that is, are you telling people I'm abusing you? And I wasn't. I was actually in counseling, talking to the counselor about everything the hospital did to me and how to cope with it. My mom didn't know that because I didn't want her to. So she said stuff like I'm sneaky and a lot of mean stuff.